It's the end of the week. It's Sunday Night Football, Cowboys Vikings, for a chance to win $100,000. Hey there, everybody. What's going on? Welcome on into this episode of Winning Bets. That's right. This is one of those free games that we play, and it's over on the NBC Sports Predictor app where you can win $100,000 on Sunday Night Football between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. It'll be an interesting game. I guess a lot of that depends on if the status of Dak Prescott, whether or not he plays or not, will depend largely in part on whether or not we get a game. If you guys can quickly answer all 7 of these questions, you can win that $100,000. If nobody can do it, you'll compete for a guaranteed $5,000 prize if you go ahead and get the most points right. I also give away $25 each and every single week. Obviously, I wasn't in this chair last week as I was sick and unable to make a video, so we've got to give out $25 from week 6, and we got to give out $25 from week 7. So let's see who won it first in week 6. It looks like we had Blessing, and they had 45 points, so that's a good showing by them there in week 6 by getting 45 points and the $25. And go ahead and look at week 7. We had Bonnie Jean, 28, going ahead and getting the victory there with 50 points for NFL Week 7. So the two of you, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter, drop me your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and send each of you $25. And obviously it's a new week. Everybody starts off with 0 points, so anybody can go ahead and win that $25. And if you need that league information to join it, it's in this video description. So just go ahead and grab that information and compete against your fellow Winning Bet supporters. Again, largely in part, is game's going to come down to Dak Prescott and whether he can play or not. He's the reason why this video is coming out a little bit late. I tried to wait and see if he was going to play. It looks like he's a true game time decision. It looks like if you kind of read into the quotes there, Mike McCarthy, though, it looks like maybe they'll sit him and choose the rest option rather than pushing him to play. But again, we won't know until 90 minutes before kickoff whether or not he's going to play for sure or not. Obviously, as we go through these answers, there's some of these that you would modify if Dak Prescott's not going to go ahead and play. I'll go ahead and highlight where those spots are so you can adjust it as need be on your own. First question here is about Dak Prescott and how many passing yards and TDs will he get. Let's go ahead and focus on this Vikings defense here first. They're second in yards per game at 170. They're 10th in yards per catch at 9.6, and they're first in completion percentage allowed at 49%. Found that quite remarkable that they're allowing under 50% and first in the league right there. Dak, he's averaging 313 yards per game and 2.6 touchdowns per game. I'm going to go ahead and put Dak into 250 to 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think you can ignore the Vikings' secondary success between that completion percentage and the yards that they're allowing per game. Obviously, the Cowboys like to throw it, so we're not going to put it anywhere below 200, but we got to give some respect there. We're not going to put it near Dak's side there of 313, so that's how we got 250 to 289 and 2 touchdowns there for Dak Prescott. This is obviously one of those questions you'll want to modify if he's not in the game. Question 2 is about Justin Jefferson, good receiver there for the Vikings. How many receptions and TDs will he get? Well, sportsbooks have his over-under in terms of receptions at 6.5, so you can go ahead and keep that in mind. He's number 1 in the team in targets by 9. He averages 9.8 targets per game. He's number 1 in the team in receptions. He averages 6.8 receptions per game. He's got a low of 5 and a high of 9 receptions so far in the season. And he's got 3 of the 13 passing touchdowns so far in the season. And the Cowboys, they rank 7th in the league in completion percentage allowed at 63%. I'm going to go ahead and give him 7 receptions, and he'll have 1+ touchdown. Question 3 is who's going to have the most second quarter receiving yards? Well, look at these Cowboys players. We got Zeke Elliott. He's 20 targets behind both Lamb and Cooper, who are first and second on the team. So based on how I generally look at targets in terms of targets and yards to answer this, I'll go ahead and rule out Zeke Elliott right there from the start. Amari Cooper, he's number 2 in the team in targets, number 2 in the team in yards, and CeeDee Lamb is first in targets and first in yards as well. Go ahead and look at these Vikings players. Look, Dalvin Cook, he's got 12 catches in 4 games, and if you were to project that out as if he were to play all game and not be injured, he still wouldn't come anywhere near the targets as these other receivers. So I went ahead and eliminated Dalvin Cook as well. Justin Jefferson, we just mentioned him there. He's number 1 in yards per game by 25 yards. And Thielen, he's number 2 in the team in targets, number 2 in the team in receptions, and 2 in the team in yards per game as well. Cowboys, they allow 27th in yards per completion. Is that Cowboys secondary right there? And CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, they have less targets and yards per game game than Thielen and Jefferson. So all that says, I had it narrowed down to Vikings, and between Thielen and Jefferson, I went ahead and picked Jefferson. Look, you can't ignore just his production between targets and yards and receptions, so give me Justin Jefferson. Question number 4 is what's going to be the longest touchdown of the game? Well, the Vikings and the Cowboys both have 30 big plays on their season so far this season, and the complete guess, I'll go ahead and say 30 to 37 yards will be the length of the longest touchdown of the day. Question 5 is how many total points will be scored in the game? Well, the over-under is at 51.5 points across the sports books. The Cowboys score a 38-point game. The Vikings score 20 per game. Vikings allow 20, where the Cowboys allow 26 per game. I'm going to go ahead and say there'll be 52 to 54 points being scored in this game, and this will certainly be a question you'll want to modify if Dak Prescott is not in the lineup. Question 6 is who's going to score the last touchdown of the game? Well, Zeke's got 2 of the 5 rushing touchdowns on the season and 1 of the 16 passing touchdowns on the season. Amari Cooper's got 4 of the 16 passing touchdowns, and so does CeeDee Lamb. He also has 4 of the 16 passing touchdowns. Any other player, you're really going to look at Pollard and Schultz here for the Cowboys in terms of my mind. You get every other player, but in terms of production, you're going to look at Pollard and Schultz here. Look at these Vikings players. Cook, he's got 1 of the 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. Jefferson's got 3 of the 5 passing touchdowns, and Thielen has 5 of the 13 passing touchdowns of the season. I'm going to go and say Cowboys any other player. I like that you get Pollard and Schultz. I think they're really 2 good players that chip in with enough production that kind of makes this a kind of a toss-up. I like the Vikings or the Cowboys maybe to be getting the last touchdown as they're kind of battling back in the game. So give me Cowboys any other player. And question number 7 is who's going to win the game and what's going to be that win margin. The line right now is Vikings -3. Look, some of the key stats that I look for in the game. The Vikings and the Cowboys have the same offense and defensive third down conversion percentage. Vikings have the better offensive red zone TD percentage there at 71% versus 54% for the Cowboys. The Vikings also have the better defensive red zone TD percentage at 67% versus the Cowboys at 89%. And that 89% actually ranks dead last in the NFL. Again, I like the Vikings, though, with or without Dak Prescott. I think they'll be able to pull this one out at home. We've seen the Cowboys play really competitive and close. They've been losing some of these games, but they've been close. They've been competitive. I think Sunday night on their home turf, they'll be able to handle it. Big time Kirk Cousins will show right on up. He's got a bad reputation, but it's just really not fair to him at all. He's a good solid quarterback there in prime time. So go ahead and give me the Vikings. I think they'll win this game by 4 to 5 points, and maybe we'll make that win margin a little bit bigger. Again, if Dak Prescott doesn't play, this is probably one you'll want to modify if Dak's on the lineup. But as of now, give me Vikings win by 4 to 5, and that's how we'll do it for a chance to win $100,000 on Sunday Night Football between your Cowboys and Vikings. Feel good to be back again. Apologize for being sick last week. It was a lot of fun talking this game. I look forward to seeing you guys back here next Sunday night. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.